This is once again Worst Take, the segment where we react to Knicks takes around the NBA podcast sphere, for better or for worse. And so on today's segment of Worst Take, we're going to talk about this clown, Draymond Green. Now, I didn't want to, but I feel like I had to. As you guys know, we were at the game on Monday, Knicks taking on the Golden State Warriors. It was announced before the game that Karl-Anthony Towns, or prior to that game, over the weekend, Karl-Anthony Towns was going to miss the game due to personal reasons. And you guys remember, back at that point, you know, everybody's fishing and what's going on with Karl? What's going on with Karl? And I'm just like, yo, it's personal reasons. Let him deal with what he needs to deal with. Okay? Now, what ends up coming out is that a friend in the family, I believe it was a friend of his girlfriend's, had passed away due to cancer. So he missed the game, and everybody wished him well. Now, what ends up happening is Draymond Green takes it upon himself to fabricate his own story on what happened here. So I'm going to play this clip reluctantly, but I got some stuff to say about it anyway, man. So I'm going to play this clip. This is from the Draymond Green Baron Davis show. This is Draymond Green on Karl-Anthony Towns. Here it is. Let's listen to it. Here we go.
For us, and obviously they ain't had Cat. You know, some would say he didn't play because Jimmy was in the building. I don't know.
It's like that.
You know, I'll tell you what, though, I saw Cat Pops yesterday at the game, and it's always love. I got mad love for the OG. His Pops is an incredible man. But yeah, they said Cat ain't play because Jimmy came into town, and you know him and Jimmy had the infamous practice in Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
And so
what?
That's the thing. I don't know.
That's a conspiracy theory says he was hurt.
I don't know what was hurt.
I
didn't look that deep into it to figure out like what his injury was or nothing like that, bro. You know,
shit like that shit like that.
All right, so anyway, enough of the babbling between these two, all right? You know, BD looks stoned. He's like, what? Whoa, conspiracy theory? All right, whatever. But here's the thing, right? Draymond Green claims that he saw Karl Sr. at the Garden. You didn't ask him what's up with Junior? Where's he at? You don't think Karl Sr. would have said, oh, Junior's not here because X, Y, and Z? So something's not adding up with that. Either he already knew or he didn't talk to Karl Sr. at all. Maybe he just waved hello. Or maybe they're not even that tight. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get the news from Karl Sr. at that moment about where his son was at or why he was missing the game? The math ain't math in there. But anyway, so he took it upon himself to make up a complete garbage bullshit story about Karl-Anthony Towns' whereabouts. Okay? So there is number one. Video number one. Okay? Now, the Golden State Warriors go and play the Brooklyn Nets on Wednesday. When it was already revealed, everything blew over. Everybody on Twitter is blowing this guy up. They're ripping this guy for making this up and lying on Towns' name. So you would think that any real man would hold himself accountable and say, you know what? I was wrong. Apologies and condolences. But instead, this is what we got from this clown. Here we go again.
Did you see any reaction today to your comments about Cat?
No.
And are you aware of what the circumstances were?
No. No. What's the circumstance?
Apparently he said he was at a funeral for a family friend.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. But my comments that I made was, what I heard was this. And that's what I heard. So I do, send my well wishes to him and his family. You know, none of us, it's inevitable. We all experience death in one way or another, and we'll all experience it in the same way one day. So it's unfortunate. You never wish that on anybody, but the Draymond Green show with Baron Davis must go on.
So, and you could tell by the way he got defensive with the, oh, what? Oh, I didn't know. He knew exactly what had happened at that time. His mentions were blowing up. He probably got about 3,000 tweets going at him for being a complete clown. But instead of being a real man and hold himself accountable and say, you know what, I shouldn't have done that. That was in poor taste. What he decided to say was, I didn't know. People die every day, B. And the Baron Davis, the Draymond Green and Baron Davis show must go on. Like anybody gives a shit about that show. Your show is hot garbage, bro. Hot garbage. So the idea that, like, he's so above this or above apologizing to the guy, holding himself accountable, and that his show must go on, give me a break, man. This is the type of buffoonery that we now have in today's social media, watch me day and age. There's no characters. There's no moral compass. Everybody has to go lower and lower and lower to generate a reaction and stand on it. A complete clown show. Complete clown show. Desperate for clicks. And remember, this was the guy, Mr. New Media, talking about, oh, all the media's out there's after the clickbait and nobody's covering the sport because I'm the smart guy. I got 4 rings. And what does he do? Jumps in the shitter with everybody else. What are you bringing to the table, Mr. New Media, that nobody else is bringing? Absolutely nothing. This is the same guy that the suits at TNT thought it was such a brilliant idea. Let's bring this guy on our telecast to go along with the player wave so we can spice things up a bit. The guy comes on several times on TNT and gives you absolutely nothing. All he gets is his respect because he's got rings, he's a genius, he's this, that, and the third. Who cares if he's talking nonsense and gibberish every single time he gets on a mic? The best thing about TNT losing the NBA is that we don't have to hear from a clown like this anymore. And if any one of these new networks from NBC to Amazon all on down had any sense, they wouldn't bring him anywhere near studio set. I can name 10 NBA players who don't even got rings that can break down the game in a more intellectual way than this guy. Complete clown show. All he stands on is, I got rings, I know more about the game than you, and he doesn't even show it. All he does is show that he has no character and that he's a complete buffoon. He better hope that all that LeBron bootlicking carries him past his playing career. Absolute nonsense, man. Absolute nonsense. And then on top of that, here is Chris Broussard, whose career is already going down the tubes. This was Chris Broussard the next day.
Behind you. Because there's a rumor out there.
Oh.
Draymond said it on his podcast.
What is it?
You know, Cat missed the last game against Golden State. Jimmy Butler and Steph and those guys. And Draymond said the word is, now it was unspecified personal reasons. Draymond said the word is, what's out there, the scuttlebutt, that he didn't want to play against Jimmy Butler because of what Jimmy Butler did. I'm just saying, it's out there.
You know what?
Now, this is a veteran journalist talking about this is what the rumor says. It's out there. A veteran journalist couldn't take 5 minutes to do some research. Dig in with your insiders, with your sources. But he's got to entertain it up and Hollywood it up because these guys are so desperate that the facts don't even matter. Everybody is on this chatty patty Wendy Williams wave. And it is lame. Absolutely lame. Continue to drag this guy's name through the mud like he's scared. He's scared. He's scared. Draymond Green talking about it like, oh, this is really what I heard. And we're supposed to believe that you got sense up here? We're supposed to believe that you smart? Oh, that's what I heard. I'm just going to stand on it. That's what I heard. Chris Broussard, that's what he heard. This is where we are. Clowning it up at others' expense to make ourselves look better because our programming and our brand straight up sucks. That's just the bottom line. Because if you had any credibility, you wouldn't need to stoop to these levels of buffoonery. Now, Karl Anthony Towns did say when he was interviewed by the media, he said, "Look, I'm not going to stoop to these levels. I'm going to respond with love and not hate." And you know what? At the end of the day, if that's how he wants to handle it, so be it. Take the high road. There's no need to go out there and jump in the mud with these clowns. Unbelievable, man. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Rest in peace to the dearly departed. Condolences to the family, which is what all of these clowns should have said and left it at that. Unbelievable, man. And at the end of the day, no, you don't want to waste time on this. It's not really worth the time. But we got to raise our standards up here, man. This is all we're seeing in today's social climate. Everybody wants to roll in the mud. It is nasty work out here. So now I'm not going for it. Not use my platform to do that either. We're going to keep it a family show here. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. Knicks Nation has your back. Knicks Nation has had your back. Draymond Green is a straight-up clown. Chris Broussard is a straight-up clown. And that's just the bottom line, man. That was another episode of Worst Take. Salute to everybody in the chat.